everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Has this changed people's view of the president? Has it eroded some of his support there, or is the support as strong as ever?
Well, I definitely think it has taken a hit to that. I think there's still a lot of support for the president, but I think it's definitely taken a hit because this does not support the America First agenda. And the American cattle ranchers are very proud people. They work hard every day to produce something and feed the world. And they just want to have a free and fair market system to do that in. And when we throw in some of these outside influences, it just throws a monkey wrench into it.
Nobody's changing their views on the president. Okay, farmers gonna live by and die by this.
So I just cannot believe the hate that just keeps piling on to my TikToks, talking about the struggles of farmers, financially, mentally. And all it is, but who did you vote for? But who did you vote for? Well, I can guarantee you from now on, I would never, ever vote for a Democrat, liberal, socialist, communist, ever in my life. If this is the way I would ever be treated by people that vote this way. I love my farm. I'm going to continue to talk about farm policy and things that are impacting farming. I don't talk about politicians, but maybe I will, because I feel like I've been kind of pushed to it. But that's not what I want to do. I want to let everybody know what's going on in the agriculture industry and how we really need to save the family farm. So I guess for all of the people that are piling on, talking about that I voted for my own demise, screw you. I'm going to keep doing what I do because people need to hear about agriculture and where their food comes from.
My question is, but who did you vote for? But who did you vote for? Okay, that should be the question. That should be the question. Who did you vote for?
Well, let's talk about it real quick. Right out of the gate this morning.
MAGA Crash Outs, episode 114. The cattle ranchers ain't having a good time at all. Won't anybody consider the ranchers? Why didn't anybody tell them that this man would devastate the entire sector, just like he did last time around?
We got an announcement from the administration about, cattle, beef prices. They're going to import a bunch more box beef, ground beef, scrap cuts, that's what I call them, and hopefully bring down the price of ground beef in the store for y'all. We've seen a market crash for live cattle that people like myself grow and take to the processing plants or go down through the system. That's dropped 40 cents a pound already just from that plant closure. Now this morning, the markets are crashing.
Yeah, and the interesting part about all of that, and I'm sure you can guess, somebody shorted the entire market before this announcement was made.
But will your price change? So far, we have not seen that. We have not seen that. And at what expense to you? I'll tell you what expense to you. This is the opposite of what needs to happen.
Well, it depends on where you're sitting, Mr. Free Market Capitalism. This is some of that trickle-down economics y'all are such a fan of. Because this allows them to start putting ranchers out of business. And who's going to step in? Corporations. And under globalization and the free market economics y'all keep going on about in my comments, MAGA, whoever is willing to pay the highest price will receive that commodity. And guess what? It's not the American citizen. Yeah. Asia, most likely, will pay the premium for that beef. Thus, they will receive all of that on export markets, while the American citizens are getting cheap imports from places like Argentina that helps keep this global network afloat, right? Exact same thing they do with oil and gas. And none of that hits the American market. It all goes to export markets.
We're not going to retain heifers and build a herd when we can have, the stroke of a pen drop our price to where we don't make a profit anymore.
Well, they ain't concerned with you making a profit, Mr. Rancher. They're making quite a pretty penny from all this.
And honestly, that's where we stand. We finally begun to make a profit, and all hell breaks loose. People can't handle it. You know, I guess, because beef is high in the store. I get it, beef is high in the store. Look at what else is high in the store. Look at what's high for the rancher and the producer.
And could it be those prices are high in the stores and for the rancher and producer? Because this is exactly what the fuck y'all voted for? Huh?
Fuel, land, labor, all of it. You know, you got a $9 latte, but $7, $8, $9 a pound for ground beef is too much, right?
Yeah, because Americans are dumb as fuck, and they figured out if they can focus on key commodities and make people think those are cheaper, they'll think the entire economy is just roaring, the way Donald Trump insists it is. So kind of multi-pronged approach that is politically expedient but helps them achieve their long-term goals, which is putting your ass out of business.
Now you're going to get stuck with ground beef. Trust me. And we won't rebuild the herd, and you're going to lose more ranchers, and in the long run, you're going to lose everything. Because where there are cattle, there is freedom. And when these disappear, so does your freedom.
Yes, that's surely how we've measured freedom this entire time. How many heads of cattle we got? Oh, we did below 30,000. That's when we should have known democracy was at risk. This is what the fuck y'all voted for. Okay, and trust it will happen across every last sector eventually. They will turn whatever is left of American production over to export markets because there's more money in it. Doesn't matter if we're all starving. Capitalists have done it several times in the past. Oh, the entire population is starving? Doesn't matter. Give me those potatoes so I can sell them on export markets, you lazy fucking peasants. Pretty amazing how quickly you lot managed to destroy the entire fucking country. Well done, MAGA.
As this is playing out, House Republicans are pushing a $95 billion budget resolution package focused on boosting defense, election reform rules, and also aiding farmers who are dealing with higher gas and fertilizer prices. And for more on this, I'm joined now by economist and University of Michigan professor Justin Wolfers. Justin, great to see you as always. And listen, as we just heard, you've got rural Americans who are struggling to keep up with the rising price as a result of this war and the Trump administration seesawing on its tariff policy here. But I'm curious, how does this bill that's been proposed address the farming crisis? Is it really enough to keep farmers from falling behind here?
Mate, the difficulties with the farming crisis would be a whole lot easier to fix if we just recognise that so many of the problems are coming from inside the tent. So, first of all, the war in Iran, that's obviously caused a huge shock to energy prices, a huge shock to fertiliser and other inputs that farmers desperately need. Second of all, we've got tariffs. That means that American farmers are paying more. They're paying tariffs for some of the imports that they need as inputs into their production, which no other farmers in the world have to pay. Worse than that, when it comes to tariffs, these folks are often the focus of retaliatory actions where other countries will stop buying our goods as a way of getting back at the United States for its actions. And then the third big thing that we haven't mentioned so far is immigration. Huge shock to immigration has been a huge shock to the rural workforce. And that's been one of the issues when I talk to folks in rural America that they're really worried about.
Well, and you've noted that despite low unemployment, you've got wages that are right now barely rising with prices. So, what's happening here with the economy?
Well, it's what's happening right now is that the US is in an inflation moment. There was underlying inflation, still hadn't come all the way back down as a result of the pandemic. And then the president came to power, of course, promising that the first thing he'd do is reduce prices on day one. What we've had instead was the trade war, which boosted tariffs and therefore boosted prices that Americans are paying for stuff. We've also had the war in Iran, which has been a massive energy shock. And so you're just seeing, I don't need to tell folks at home this, they know it for themselves, prices at the store are going up. Often what you hope for at a time like that is, well, prices are going up. I hope my wages go up to keep up. The problem, though, is that when prices are going up, because of tariffs and because of a war, that doesn't leave your boss with extra cash at the end of the day to make it up for you with a pay rise. And so that's the sense in which real wages, how much you can buy with the pay packet you're bringing home, aren't quite, aren't rising right now, when, that's what people need if they want to keep improving their standard of living.
Yeah, certainly. Justin Wolfers, thank you for breaking that down.
Man, if y'all didn't understand what that man was talking about, it's like he's saying prices is going up, but your boss is not finna pay you more just because the prices are going up. It's looking grim out here for a lot of people, man. It's a sad thing to see. The war, the tariffs. We can sit here, throw the blame game around, what's causing it. Honestly, I honestly think we're being led by the blind. It's like people who really don't know what's really going on, and they're just doing things and calling it good. Literally, I watched a video, because I watch a lot of videos, of people complaining about Hunter Biden and how Joe Biden was using the presidency to enrich his family. Fast forward to now, they're asked the same questions, but in a different manner, to where they would have to answer it. And if they answer it, it would directly conflict with what they said about Joe Biden. But they refuse to answer. Reason they refuse to answer, because they know. And their answer is, well, Congress has to deal with that. Congress has to vote on that. Congress has to speak out about that. Now their blame has left from calling out Joe Biden to now saying, well, let's leave that up to Congress. So now we got to look at Congress like, Congress, what are you going to do about this? Because now, but Congress is like, well, we didn't do anything about Joe Biden, so we shouldn't really worry about what Donald Trump is doing, because, we know who's in Congress, obviously, is Trump's bootlickers. Trump got to endorse everybody to get into Congress so he can continue the masquerade, because those same people who criticize Joe Biden won't criticize Trump for the same thing. They won't. And it's unfortunate that we as Americans have to pay for this. We would have had to pay for it either way. It doesn't matter if the person who was in office was Democrat or Republican. Whoever put this situation at hand, whatever happened, we could say, just like we could say, Obama had the gas prices at this high, and this. Obviously, there were reasons why these gas prices were high, and the housing market crashed and all this stuff. But and we can directly say this happened under the Obama administration, because it did happen. But was he the cause of it? No. You could have put anybody in that seat. Who was it? Bernie Sanders, John McCain. You could have put John McCain. If John McCain would have become president, we will be talking right now how John McCain had the worst economy. That's what we'll be talking about. Same thing would happen with the pandemic. If Donald Trump would have won 2 terms in a row, he would have had to deal with the pandemic. And honestly, I don't think he was a person to deal with the pandemic. And I guess if there was an election stolen, I'm pretty sure I'm happy that it was stolen, because look at what's happening right now. It would have been 10 times worse. It would have been 10 times worse, because we're dealing with a lunatic.
So it is amazing to me the number of negative comments that I've been reading regarding farmer struggles right now, not just mentally, but financially. And I think it's about time everybody really starts to wake up about the consolidation of the dairy industry.
You know what? I really did vote with farmers' best interest on my mind. Okay, I referenced the pages in Project 2025 where it showed to me that this administration wanted to consolidate agriculture. I referenced back to Donald Trump's first-term economic policies that forced him to bail out farmers. Okay, I did vote with you. I did support you when I voted. But the problem is you guys didn't do that yourselves. You guys did not vote for your own best interest. So then I find it infuriating to get lectured for not supporting y'all when, again, y'all did not support yourselves. Yeah, it's like really not my problem. I'm sorry, it really sucks, but it's not my problem that the economic policies that you voted for are leading to this outcome. There's nothing more I could do for you. I did everything I could.
To me, the number of negative comments that I've been reading regarding farmer struggles right now.
Let's go over why we think you're dumber than snail shit. You voted for Donald Trump in the first administration. He had to bail you out because he fucked up your business so badly. You didn't mind that socialist money then, did you? Joe Biden came in. You didn't need a bailout, but he was good enough to make sure that you got money from the government to make eco-friendly investments in your farms and upgrade your equipment. You took that money. So what did you do? You voted your hate and racism again because you thought he would only hurt black and brown people. Well, he's f***ed you again without Vaseline, and you want that socialist check. No. This administration, he doesn't give a fuck about you. He just cares about making money. So I hope you suffer. I hope you lose your farm. My give a damn's busted. Right here.
The give a damn is busted, man. It's a crazy situation. Now, do I feel for the farmers? Yes, because agriculture is a big thing in Oklahoma. Of course, we got Oklahoma State University, which is one of the greatest agricultural colleges in America. And I think this affects a lot of the farmers in Oklahoma. Of course, we got the best farm in America, the Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Farm. If you haven't had Brahms and you are in or around Oklahoma or Texas, some parts of Texas, I'm not sure how far into Kansas, but you know, if you've had Brahms, you know how good that beef is, that chicken is. It's not full of damn antibodies and all that stuff. The ice cream is amazing, and you can actually go to the farm in Tuttle, Oklahoma, which is about 10 miles southwest of Oklahoma City or less. It's not that far, but I mean, just some amazing beef farmers in Oklahoma. So my heart goes out to them because it's a real thing. But all in all, you know, just to say that they have to pay more for fertilizer, that they have to import because they have to keep up a certain amount of cattle that they sell. I don't know if y'all seen this show called The Ranch. The Ranch was it on Netflix? And the Ranch was a very good show, but it started dying off once one of the guys got accused of abuse and they had to kill him off. Like he got into a car accident, a motorcycle accident, and died, and he was just no longer on the show anymore, which was crazy how they spinned that off. I thought that was amazing that they did that, because I was like, damn, what they gonna do? And he like had a breakup and he just drove off a cliff and he died. So that, it was pretty sad. It was like, damn, but it wasn't sad because what he did. It was like, dude, you kind of took advantage of a woman. It was a dude from That 70s Show. But they went through real life problems with ranches and, taking care of cattle dying, losing cattle, cold winters. It was just different things that you wouldn't know ranchers went through, they go through. So hats off to them for actually putting in the work to feed Americans. It is what it is. I think going at them for voting for Donald Trump is it's kind of harsh, but it's kind of like, you got sometimes you got to take accountability for what you do. If you vote that way and then this is what happens, it's just like, it is what it is. You got to think about what you do before you do it, when you do it. All right. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section.